Hello. Today I want to talk about why work on your emotions that you have stored or beliefs that you believe are true but might actually be limiting you. Why actually work on them? What you can get out of actually working on those, working on yourself. And the biggest things are that you start getting to know who you even are, because if you are limited by behaving how others expect you to, or behaving how your parents or your partner, people at work or friends, neighbors expect you to think, behave, how they expect you to behave, dress, think like, express emotion like, then you can't really start even knowing who you are if you are constantly aligning to what others expect of you. And this also goes into the department of if somebody wants you to do something and you don't know how to refuse, even though you don't want to do those things. Those also go in the same basket. And then the second big one, what you actually gain, this one was a shocker for me, is that you get so much calmer. I didn't know it's possible to be as calm. Before, I used to be triggered by so many little things. Somebody commenting on something I do wrongly, or somebody giving me a weird look. In the car, somebody using the hump on me, or just being, I don't know, like visibly annoyed by how I drive, or taking the spot in front of me, making it dangerous for me, stuff like this, which are understandable that they can annoy us. But after you clear the pent-up anger that you have stored in your body, after you clear this out, and your body is not like the pot of boiling water that just wants to explode and just one push is enough for it to explode, then those drops are just drops in the empty pot. Then it takes so much more to trigger you. And people taking long in front of you in lines, or somebody disrespecting you, talking over you, stuff like this, don't trigger you, don't give you the anger response that you probably feel if you haven't worked on yourself a lot yet. And it's not that you would be like, oh, okay, let them just talk about, oh, okay, and it's not like that you would just be, oh, okay, I'm a happy butterfly, so I will just let everyone walk over me and talk over me. No, I'm not talking about this, that you would be just, okay, whatever. But because it doesn't trigger, you see, okay, I don't like this. Somebody is talking over me, I don't like it, I'm not triggered. That's why I can actually calmly say, hey, can you please let me finish this? Or, hey, I was talking, I would like to finish, please. Or something like in the calm version. Whereas if you were angry, you would be either so angry that you can't say anything, that was me, and outside nobody would see that I'm even angry or that something was wrong. Or the other person can feel your anger in the voice. It would be like, I don't know how to do it even, but you might know what I'm talking about, when the other person isn't saying anything wrong, but you can feel the anger or frustration behind how they say it. And if somebody directs that towards you, so if you say something in an angry manner, then the other person, if they haven't done a lot of work on themselves, will feel triggered by that. And then they will be annoyed because they probably didn't do anything on purpose. They didn't want to disrespect you, but They feel that you're angry, they don't understand why, and now they feel attacked because they go into defense mode, like, but what did I do wrong? I didn't even know that they were not finished talking, or whatever it is. And you can just trigger each other's wounds, and you are then both triggered, both unhappy. And after you process that stuff and don't get as easily triggered anymore, it's much harder to actually get into a conflict with someone, even if you don't like them, even if you don't agree with what they are saying, because it just takes so much more. It would need to be like multiple things that go wrong for you to get triggered enough to actually be angry. And this one is a big one for me, because I used to be, now I talked about anger, but it's the same for anxiety. I used to be scared of so many things. I had social anxiety so large that even though I craved like human contact and social events and stuff, I never went to them, because if I went to them, then I was just really tense and really in my mind, not being able to properly talk to people without alcohol. That's why if I went somewhere, which was really rare, then I was drinking, and I drank too much because of my nerves, and then I was hangover the next day. I didn't like this. But if it was an event where it's not expected to drink, that I would just be really tense, not express my opinion. If there would be music playing, I would just be like stiff. I wouldn't move to it. I wouldn't feel it. I wouldn't feel the flow of the conversation. If somebody would try to, I don't know, flirt with me, I would just tense up and be like completely a rat and just run away to the toilet or something. Because I would be so much in my mind about what I should say, what I shouldn't say, how I should behave, how I should how my posture should look like, how my expression should look like. And you might not have issues like this yourself. We have different issues. Maybe you have different fears or things you're concerning yourself with that you wouldn't actually need to concern yourself if you cleared the beliefs behind it. Because my beliefs behind all of those things were that I'm not worthy enough if I'm not liked, and that I'm not worthy enough if I'm not pretty, and then it was that I'm not pretty if others don't think that I'm pretty. It was a lot of ifs, a lot of conditions based on other people. And sometimes the other person has things on their mind. They don't even know that you are waiting for them to answer or respond or tell you something. It's not even that they are thinking what you're interpreting that they are thinking. And you just take it like, oh, they don't like me, or oh, they think that I'm annoying or whatever. And maybe they do. Now, because I'm more honest and open, now I often annoy people. Some like me more now because they get to see who I am, but I also annoy some people a lot now. And that's the thing. Before, this was the most horrible thing that could happen to me, if someone disliked me. And now it's just like, oh, okay, then they don't like me. Well, okay, whatever. And life gets so much easier, so much easier. Those are just some small things. No, they're not small things. They just are some small parts of what changes after you actually release your stuck up emotions and limiting beliefs. Because if I told you everything that changed for me, this would take like hours, because even external circumstances changed for me. Also how what I get, how others help me, how others approach me, how situations align so they are much easier for me. And it might sound crazy to you maybe that external circumstances can actually align based on what you think. But in my experience, this is really... I had dozens of experiences like this, that if before I believed that something will go wrong or that I will have problems with something, then I usually did have them. And after I release this, that I'm not stuck in my fears anymore or judgments of how it will be, how someone will behave, or how something will go, then they just go smoothly. And even if there is some problem that arises, it's always just cleared up immediately, like somebody comes and solves it. For example, when I was taking care of the outside, like the garden in my house, a lot of times I didn't know how to do something because, yeah, it's my first garden. And I would be doing it wrongly and wondering like, how can I do this? And this would be like 2 minutes of trying to figure out, and one of the neighbors would be like, oh, Larissa, if you want to do that, I have this tool that you can use to do this. You won't be able to do it like this. And they showed me how to use it, and this was at least 10 times that I would run into the problem, and in a matter of minutes, a solution just appeared. Or I'm checking what I have in fridge to make my toddler, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't get the eggs. And my neighbor would knock on the door and tell me, oh hey, I brought you some eggs. You know, it's it's crazy. Or for the salad, a lot of times I get salad from this neighbor or the other neighbors. And it's usually when I run out of the thing that they are bringing, or apples or peaches, very different stuff. But situations just somehow align. It's crazy. Or at work one time, I was thinking, oh, I'm thirsty, but I have this meeting, I can't go from the table now. And in a matter of, I think it was like a minute, one coworker just brought a glass of water and put it on the table. I was like, how? We never do this. We never bring water to other coworkers. And I haven't talked to this coworker then for months. And he just brought water just to me. It was crazy. He didn't even say anything. And before that, I didn't say that I'm thirsty. He didn't know. Stuff like this, that life just starts supporting you from different directions because you are not blocking that support, because you clear the beliefs that are preventing you from receiving. Because if you feel that you are not worthy of receiving, then you will not receive. Another thing that was really big for me was when I moved into this house that I built, I felt that I don't deserve it, because it was just me and my toddler, and I felt like for a young person such as myself to have a whole house, that it's too much. And I was in the house for the first 2 months living inside. It was my dream always to have a garden, a house. But for the first 2 months, I was just so anxious of losing it all. For some reason, I was really scared of dying then. Super scared of dying. I don't know from where this was coming from. It all cleared then when I was tapping on the beliefs that I had behind that. And in the whole house, there's one room that is like a closet that was really ugly. It was dark, and It didn't even have the walls or the roof painted, like the ceiling painted. And in this room for the first 2 months, me and my toddler were on the bed, without the bed, like just the matters on the floor. And the whole time I would be just, when I was alone without him, I would just be in my bed like this, just really scared, not going out, not seeing the view. Like I have an amazing view here. It's beautiful. And the house is beautiful. It's what I always wished for. But I was not able to enjoy it. And then it was actually that I started really seriously tapping, because I found a book, or actually the book found me, like it usually happens. And it was on money and wealth with tapping. But what the author talked about was that every time you go a level above what you currently have or earn, so you get a promotion at job, you move to a better apartment or house or location, because you move from what you previously believed was what you deserve, because what you have is what you deep down believe that you deserve. Because you go up that, then all your fears regarding that, what you deserve, are triggered. And for me, this was really true. I truly believed that I don't deserve this house, even though I paid for it. I worked a lot on it physically myself, and I still believe that I don't deserve it, because there's a lot of people who have much less than me, or families that are like multiple families in one house, and I felt so guilty to have this. And what she talks about in the book is also that you start compensating with having either issues with your health, which was happening to me. Then I burnt out completely, and I started having a lot of immune system problems. I was constantly sick, and so was my toddler then. This was one thing. I was having a lot of pains. I couldn't move because of the pains in my neck and shoulders. The other thing that she talks about is that you start compensating by overworking yourself, because you have this compensation, like, yeah, I have more than I believe that I deserve. I have more than most people, but look how much I'm working myself. I'm working much more than other people. I'm sick much more than other people. I'm under stress much more than other people. And it's a way of compensating for having more, because in your childhood, if you have stuff like this yourself as well, because in your childhood you started believing through what either your family taught or just the collective community, that having more is bad, that if you have more, you will be super stressed, you won't be empathic anymore, you won't be a nice person anymore, etc. And yeah, those beliefs are different based on where you grew up, who you grew up with, which culture you grew up with. But that's what I'm saying. Stuff like this that you don't even know is there, if you clear it, your life gets so much better. And after I've realized those things in this book, that I don't believe that I deserve this, and I felt on the verge of dying, I really thought that I might not get through this, that I will die and that this is my end. But I was doing everything I can because of my toddler, because I didn't want to leave him. I I didn't want to leave myself as well, of course, and my family, but the toddler was the main motivation for me. Then I started really doing every day. I would, now for 8 months, but the biggest difference was already in the first two or 3 weeks. Every day, whatever I was feeling, I would write it down. In the first, this was, I don't deserve this house. I don't deserve to live in luxury. I don't deserve to be paid enough to afford this house, or I don't deserve to have more than others, or if I will have more than others, I won't be liked. If I won't be liked, then I don't deserve to be alive. Stuff like this that you would never think that you are holding inside of you. If somebody would say that I believe this to be true about me like 3 years ago, I would just laugh at them and think they are crazy. But usually we do, deep down, we do have fears like those, different ones of course, but some variation of this in ourselves. And every day I would write whatever it was, whatever I was scared of, whatever was triggering me, whatever I believed that I can't do. This was also like, oh, I can't finish this, or I can't pay for this. Then it started to be more about my personal development, like I can't dance, I can't sing, I can't talk clearly, I can't, even for videos, I can't talk in front of the camera. I couldn't talk in front of the camera, I couldn't drive, I couldn't sing, I couldn't dance. A lot of things that I couldn't do. And each time that I register, oh, okay, I'm living on a belief here that might not be true. Then I see, okay, it's a belief. If I have it, I got it somewhere. If I got it somewhere, I can release it. It's not who I am. It's just what I got. It's just baggage that I can release away. And a million things with this approach, when you're tapping just on whatever comes up, a million things just disappear. And then I started working more with chakra specific things as well, and working with others, and I started getting a lot of past life memories, which I was always an atheist. I studied mathematics. I was in the science completely. I'm a mathematics graduate. I was never in any spiritual thing. I was always interested in alternative health, yes, but I was not at all in spirituality. And it just started happening to me. I started getting past life memories, communication with other beings. I started seeing angels. I didn't believe in angels. It was like, what is happening? And this might be too much for you now. For me, if I heard stuff like this, I would completely disregard what the person is saying. But I feel like I need to also talk about those topics, and I will be sharing more videos about those things because they are my reality. And from the memories that I started getting also from other planets, when I was checking them if they align with what other people are saying, I found that yes, actually I started knowing things that I could know otherwise. For example, I started speaking a lot of Sanskrit words. I never studied Sanskrit or anything about India. And the Sanskrit words were all connected to love, to the divine, to feminine power. What was it again? Nature, sun, earth. It was a lot of words that are not just like chair or something, but they actually are like meaningful for what I was going through. I started feeling the energy a lot. Sometimes when I say something or hear someone say something, I can feel the energy behind that, and I can feel which chakra center it resonates with. Sometimes if somebody sings or says something from their hearts, I physically feel it in the heart. I physically feel it here, and I feel it like a pulse going through my body, and I started feeling others' energies as well, and with working with all of that, I actually am now getting results when working with others, but it's not actually me. It's just that I'm letting something work through me when I'm working with the person in person. But what I'm trying to say is that where I started, the beginning, where I started, before I started tapping, was like if I knew myself the first 3%, and now I feel that I'm like at 60%. I'm still, every week I'm unlocking more things. I'm seeing that I know how to do more things, that I enjoy life so much more. It's crazy, and I needed to also say those things, even though it might put some people off, because they are giving me so much joy and purpose now that I am just so thankful to have gone through those issues and have found problems with me that were large enough that I couldn't ignore, that I needed to work on me, and that I could see that they really work. Because if you are trying to work on yourself and you don't have problems, you don't really see if they work or not. But if the problems get large enough, then you really see, oh, this is working amazingly. This is giving me crazy results. And yeah, through all of this, I found myself. I'm still finding myself even more. But if you are still listening, then you probably understand at least big parts of this. And I really encourage you, if you want to also feel those things, how it is to be like in love, in peace, how it is like to feel yourself, to know yourself, to not be triggered so easily, to understand so much more of life, of ourselves, of others, then I really encourage you to work on your stuck up beliefs, and stuck up emotions and limiting beliefs, either through EFT tapping or by other practices, because there's a lot of practices. This is not the only one. And now I am combining also EFT tapping with Kundalini dance, with my voice. The voice is the most wondrous tool that we have, which I was completely missing before. I did not feel it or see it that way. But yes, there's a lot of tools to work on this, and you will feel whichever is right for you. It will feel right. I really hope this is interesting to you. I hope it's helpful to you. I will see you in the next video. Have fun.